In this lesson, I will be revealing the tools and strategies I use to find products that can consistently generate 7 figures per month. If you can follow what I say in this video, you will find much more success during the testing phase. But if you're a beginner, be a little wary of following my strategies just because it's a bit more capital intensive and requires a higher understanding of direct response marketing and dropshipping. Stick through the whole lesson anyways, because it'll show you the direction you want to be heading as you advance through your dropshipping journey. Growth takes capital. So when you want to make more money with any sort of business, you're going to have to spend more money. There's no avoiding the risk that comes with spending money to grow. You just have to be smart about it. And everything always comes with experience and learning. Typically, dropshippers aren't able to break 6 figures consistently because they are stuck following entry-level strategies, and these entry-level strategies have a ceiling to them. It's really easy to hit 6 figures dropshipping. You don't need much skill, and a lot of it can be luck-based. But now as we move forward into 2021, advertising platforms and payment processors are getting more strict when it comes to dropshipping. So that means you have to change the way you operate and the way you market. You want to get to the point where if dropshipping didn't exist, that wouldn't be a problem because you would just apply your skills to any other field such as affiliate marketing. Hopefully this lesson gives you some ideas. Everything I mentioned in this video comes from personal experience. Last year, my own dropshipping stores did $10 million in revenue, and I spent over $3.5 million on Facebook ads. At this scale, you're buying inventory no matter what. The volume at 7 figures per month is way too high to be dropshipping the traditional way. If anyone says you're not holding inventory, then that's a straight up lie. At 7 figures, we're at the stage where we want to be spending thousands on creatives right off the bat, and sometimes we're ordering inventory right off the bat as well. This does sound high risk, but there are ways to determine if the risk is worth it or not, and I'm going to reveal that whole process right now in this lesson. Here's how we're going to break it down. We're going to need to identify the key factors we're looking for in the product, also known as the criteria. Then I will reveal the 2 main websites I look through when finding products. After that, I will show you how to verify the risk level and source the creatives. Before we get into the criteria of a winning product, this is something you should keep in mind, which is the iron law of the market. It just means that the market decides whether your product is worth selling. Just because you think something looks cool to you doesn't mean it appeals to the rest of the market. A lot of times, dropshippers will just randomly test products they think will sell, and that's a completely emotional based approach. But for me, I like to approach it with the fundamentals of business in mind. Basically, during the testing phase or research phase, you're going through the same process as if you're opening a brand new business. So before you open a brand new business, you're doing market research to make sure the size and quality of the market is viable. With dropshipping and Facebook ads, it'll be your creative and offer that glues everything together after you find the ideal product. The criteria for a winning product is simple and straightforward in my eyes. When you're advertising on Facebook and that's your main source of traffic, the way you get to 7 figures and 6 figures is having just a good combination of product, creative, and audience. But on Facebook, the creative is going to glue everything together. So I always place an emphasis on that. And sorry, my slide is like going everywhere right now. The thing is, all products you see online are winners, but not all the creatives you see and make are winners. But if you're able to nail down the creative, the offer, the marketing angle, you're going to see a much higher rate of success. We'll go deeper on the criteria a bit later on in the lesson, but what you see on the screen is a good baseline. Products we choose need to have a broad appeal. We're able to scale much higher and at a much more manageable cost per purchase when the product we choose has a broad appeal. With the strategies you're learning on YouTube regarding Facebook ads and dropshipping, it makes the most sense to go with something that has a broad appeal, just because every strategy out there tells you to target large audience sizes. And if you're targeting large audience sizes with a very niche product, you're going to have to spend way more to gain data. So during the testing phase, we're not having to spend so much in order for Facebook to identify our ideal customer if we have a broad appeal product. And at scale, we're seeing much more consistency. Then our product needs to have a market demand. So I want to know that there are a lot of people actively purchasing this product or products like this. A simple way you can figure that out is you don't need any spy tool, but you can just simply look on Amazon for competition. If there are a lot of people selling on Amazon and there are a lot of reviews on each individual listing, then it's a really good sign. Some people see competition as a bad thing, but for me, I see it as a really good thing. And our product also needs to have good quality. You want to sell a product that actually works and is functional, or at least if you do sell a product that is of lower quality, don't try to oversell it as you quickly run into problems such as high chargeback rates, poor customer feedback scores, and well, if you don't have a lot of capital sitting around, you're going to be in a very bad position. Simply ordering a sample in from the manufacturer can save you tons of headaches and money down the road. Our product also needs to be Facebook compliant and have no patent. This is pretty much common sense, but Facebook is my main media buying platform. I use it to drive all my cold traffic to my store, but it doesn't mean that it has to be the only source you can use to drive cold traffic to your store. It just depends on your marketing approach to the product and how you want to market. For my case, I want to avoid products that have certain claims or require certain scenes that won't be compliant on Facebook, such as an ab simulator, any weight loss products, and certain beauty devices such as a pore cleansing device, which can be problematic just because you need to zoom in on a product and the face to really sell it. You also want to make sure your product doesn't have any sort of patent or trademark so you don't run into any legal problems, especially when you're putting money down right away. Your product needs to have scalable margins. This is really important. This depends on a bunch of factors such as your funnel, your conversion rate, the margin of your product, the audience size, and more. But when you're scaling on Facebook, you're going to experience an increase in cost per purchase no matter what. That means your product either needs to have a high margin or you need a product that you can bundle so you can get that large average order value. The more advanced you get, you can start working off the LTV, which is the lifetime value of your product. Most dropshippers aren't able to compete in terms of lifetime value. So if you're able to get to the 3, 5, 12 plus month mark and figure that whole thing out, you're really going to have a competitive edge in terms of room for growth. For pricing, I'm always marking my products up to a minimum of 5 times. For high ticket products, I've seen that a gross margin of 65% to 70% and over is pretty much the ideal sweet spot. Our product also needs to be evergreen, and this is just my preference. I think it just makes the most sense in terms of risk level because I'm not fighting against timing, and that won't be a variable that determines my success during the testing phase. So these criteria are just a baseline. What I want you to do is combine it with what you already know about winning products. In fact, anything I tell you in this lesson, take it and combine it with your own knowledge. We all have different strategies, experiences, and ways of thinking. So approach everything I tell you with an open mind and just get creative. Again, we're going to dive deeper into all these things a little later on in the lesson, and it could quickly get boring, but I think it's just the fundamental things you need to learn if you want to scale and use your money wisely. Now, let's take a look at the product research tools. So my favorite tool of all time has to be Seller Pulse. This tool saves you so much money scrolling on AliExpress, and I'm going to give you guys multiple settings you guys can use to find certain types of products, such as high ticket products, such as brand new products, and low ticket products. This is a paid tool, and I know paying subscriptions can be a little iffy for some people, so I went ahead and reached out to Seller Pulse to see if I could get some sort of discount for free, or like a free trial for you guys. Sorry, I'll keep everyone posted on that, and I'll post on my Instagram story or YouTube community, so make sure you guys are subscribed to me. And if YouTube isn't your thing, just follow me on Instagram. When you're using Seller Pulse, you're going to be spending most of your time in the buy dropshippers section, but feel free to, and I encourage everyone to experiment with all the other sections and the many settings they provide you guys, because you guys might stumble over something that works really well for you. So always be experimenting and stay curious. Again, once you're on Seller Pulse, click on buy dropshippers on the left menu. Then I'm going to show you guys how to find high ticket products. So these are the settings I have for Seller Pulse in order to find high ticket products, and I want you guys to just pause the video and just match your settings accordingly. In the next slide, I'll break everything down for this. Again, everything is always up to experimentation. Try to experiment by changing one variable at a time. For categories, really, you can choose whatever you want. I just picked the most common categories. You can choose to either look at them all at once or you can look at them individually. For the filter parameters, I'm putting a price minimum of $10 and up. I found products that cost $10 can easily be marked up to $100 without a problem. And for the maximum, is really just up to your preference. The reason I set it at 5,000 is because sometimes it takes a long time to find products. So then I'm just setting a cap so it doesn't spam me with everything. And sometimes when you let the maximum go unlimited, you'll run into super saturated products. So maybe putting a cap between 1,000 to 10,000 is probably most ideal. For the time frame, you want to put 3 to 7 days, a minimum of 100, and a maximum you don't have to touch at all. To find potentially new listings that are trending, I change a couple settings. I adjust the order maximum between 100 to 500, and I put the time frame to 3 to 7 days like the high ticket product settings, and the minimum of 100, and it's pretty much just up to your preference. These settings might be a bit confusing, but as you play with these settings, you'll catch on fast. And if you have any settings you like and is working for you, please share it in the Facebook group. Let's try to collaborate as much as possible. To find low ticket products, it's really simple. You're just adding a cap to the price maximum. If you want to avoid really low quality products, you can add a minimum price. Again, all down to experimentation. A good price minimum is $2, and products between $2 and $5, I typically find myself marking up 5 to 10 times. Now for these lower ticket products, you typically want to find products you can bundle together so you guys can increase the average order value. My next product research tool is Amazon Movers and Shakers, and this is a completely free method. You guys may already know what this is, but if you don't, the way you can access this area is just Google Amazon Movers and Shakers on Google, and make sure you're on the American site if you're selling to America. Amazon Movers and Shakers simply shows you the listings that have had the biggest improvement in sales within a 24-hour time span. So it's updated regularly, actually every 1 hour it's updated. Not only is it a prime tool for finding trending products, but you also find trending niches. Cool thing too, you can use seller pulse to check the sales volume of products on Amazon. So combining this with seller pulse can easily become very powerful. The difference between movers and shakers and bestsellers is a product's overall success, whereas movers and shakers is a product's timely success within a 24-hour window. Everything again is down to experimentation, and these tools aren't any sort of untapped method. They're just tools that simplify your existing job and make it easier. There's so much ways to do product research, but these are my 2 main ways of finding products, and these tools just make it really easy for me to find products that fit my criteria. So now let's talk about the ways you guys can increase your average order value or margin so you can scale profitably. These are things you should already be implementing on your stores, and you guys will be able to find good examples in the bonus section of the case study. I'll upload them as swipe files and outline the important elements of each upsell. Your store should always have some kind of pre-purchase upsell, whether it's candy rack, frequently bought together app, tiered volume discounts. This will help you guys increase your average order value. You guys can also work on increasing your conversion rate. It's going to be super important at scale. You can also increase your price. And sometimes even decreasing it will help you because it will increase your conversion rate, but it's just really all down to testing. You can also offer volume discounts like the tiered volume discounts app. You can bundle products, lower cost products together with your main product to make the offer more appealing. There's so much techniques, but then again, I'll upload really good examples for you guys in the bonus section, and it's going to be examples that I've gathered within the past 2 years. Another neat way to attack your margin is to attack it at the logistics level. So if your product is heavy, you can ship it to the United States, which will reduce the shipping costs. And stating that you're shipping from the United States can also help with your conversion rate too. So it's attacking it on 2 ends. So verifying the demand and risk level, I wanted to make this exclusive to the people inside my case study. So below this video, I have a cheat sheet that will go in depth of what each points mean for you. These are pretty important points that you have to keep in mind when looking for a product. The product research and testing process I undergo requires money upfront, so I always want to be doing as much research as possible. So now that we found a product that we're confident in, if everything meets the criteria, then go ahead and take the risk. The whole reason why we follow the criteria is so we can minimize our risk level. If your product meets the criteria, assuming your skills as a marketer is good and your business is fundamentally sound, then it really just becomes a data game. You're just optimizing your funnel, your creative, your angle, and offer negotiating costs until you get the volume and profitability you want. But if you know everything meets the criteria, just go ahead and take the risk, right? There's no point in saving that money, holding that money in your bank account, especially if you're a dropshipper that's already done 6-figure months and you want to take it to the next level. It's only going to cost you a few $1,000s, and the potential there is way more than what you're going to lose. So there are 4 types of content I always get: user-generated content, branded product images, complete custom videos, and animations. For user-generated content, you can get them multiple ways. So you can use Fiverr, post-purchase emails, small content creators, branded samples, friends. Always try to be incentivizing your customers to send you in user-generated content. But for testing and launching, you can use Fiverr, your friends, like I said. You can use anything on the screen that you're seeing. And for branded samples, what I like to do is I like to order branded samples from the manufacturer. So that way I can protect my content, and also it gives my product more perceived value and trust in the creative. To find content creators, let me give you guys a hack. You can go on YouTube, and depending on your niche and product, you can search up reviewers, bloggers, videographers, vloggers, and organize your search filter by newest. Most people will be open to creating content for your product for free. The important thing is that you actually look like a brand and you build that one-on-one relationship. I like to approach it very personal and tell them I'm trying to build a brand, and then I link them my Instagram and to show them I'm a real person. I found that sometimes people would post the product multiple times without me even asking them, because I gave them a really good product, and then you're building that one-on-one relationship with them as well. You can offer them to join some sort of affiliate program. You can incentivize the amount of times they post for you. You can just pay them to post. It just really depends on your strategy, and it's always down to testing. Because I have camera equipment and my friends are videographers, I just order the product in and I just record with my friends. For branded product images, again, I'm ordering a sample, I'm ordering a branded sample from a manufacturer, and then I'm sending it into a Chinese photographer. I'm just providing them example product images I find off Pinterest, and they're able to impress me every single time, and for half the cost and half the time if I were to send it to the United States. For custom videos, I'm making sure I'm getting content that generates a direct response. For that, I'm using eCommerce. I also record some clips in-house to save on costs and refine certain scenes. I then edit the raw footage I get from eCommerce and with the footage I record, with the user-generated content, and with the animations I get from Dribbble and eCommerce to make a very high-converting creative. For animations, you can get them from Dribbble or eCommerce. Just depends on your budget and what you guys see standing out to you guys. For eCommerce, you can order it at an extra cost. But that's pretty much for the product research introduction. In the next few lessons, we'll dive deeper into how to use the tools effectively. I'll go over some questions and we'll go through the verification process live together, and I will show you guys an example product I've actually ordered and went through that whole process. If you're watching this from YouTube and you like videos like this, please comment, like, subscribe, and if you want to see the case study, the link is below.